welcome to level 3. If we are able to have a level 3, it means that we have roads that are open, because then that means we can take RVs, trailers, multiple vehicles. In other words, it's more than just dragging a gorilla cart or a deer hauler or just backpacking out with our survival kits. But level 3 does take some pre-planning. For those of you who already have trailers, you're already pre-packed. You already have things to go. But there's still some additional things you might want to pre-plan. I found out years ago why it's critical to pre-plan. Let me take you back to 1982. I lived in a small little valley in northern Utah. In fact, it was gorgeous. We had all these little sheep around in these fields, and very quiet until one evening I heard a knock at the door. And as I ran to the door to see what the clatter was, there was a policeman at my front door. And he told me that the reservoir above us had a crack in it. And while they were feverishly trying to repair the crack, they weren't sure they were going to be able to hold the reservoir back. And so there was an evacuation order in effect, and I had 15 minutes to get out of my home. Well, I have to tell you, in that 15 minutes, I was running like crazy, trying to think what I need. I knew I needed clothes to be able to work. I knew I needed hygiene, sundries, things in case I ended up in a hotel. Anyway, 15 minutes came around way too soon. The final knock was on my door. They were closing down the roads and I had to leave. And in a final desperation ditch, I turned around and grabbed my microwave off the counter and put it in the back of my little convertible Volkswagen and drove off. And as I got to the top of this little valley that I lived in, I stopped the car and went, oh my word, I forgot my important papers. I forgot photos. I forgot all those things that were really important to me, because in the hurry of having to evacuate and kind of the fright of what may or may not happen to my home, I couldn't even think straight. And I learned then that it's so wise if we can pre-plan what we're going to take from our homes, what's critical and what's essential. But also I think it's very critical that we figure out how will we take things away, even if we have decided what it is we want to take. So here's some ideas. Down below I have listed some bin and also some bucket ideas that were listed. And I love the ideas and I kind of modified it for myself. This is kind of an idea of what I've decided to pack. And this, of course, is my level 3. Would you like to see what my next level 3 is? I'm totally kidding. I wish it were my level 3. Wouldn't that be nice? But for all of us, level 3 is going to look very different. Mine is an old four-wheeler trailer. And for some of us, it may be a cargo bag on the top of our car. It could be an extension off the back. It could be just utilizing the bike racks that we have in the back to extend the amount of carrying space on our vehicle. Any way we can bring out more, the better. Mine is 19 pre-packed bins. And I actually have them listed in this notebook. And each one has a page of what's listed in it so that I can quickly find it if I need it and don't have to dig through it. But also, it gives me an opportunity to see what's missing and what I also need to add. Now, look at this idea that I found years ago. If you don't have it already packed inside of a trailer like I do, I brought these out just for sake of being able to show. But look at this crazy, awesome idea that you could do to organize it in your garage. And that way it's readily available if these are things that you use a lot, especially if you're someone that does a lot of camping, all your bins are ready to go. Now, in addition to these 19 bins, I also have some extra bins here, and these are for each one of us in the family, and we each have predetermined what it is we want packed into that bin. So it might be our personal clothing, it might be a musical instrument, a small one, or certain books, or things that have a real value to us that we don't want to leave the house without. But it is limited to a bin. But I also have bins down in my storage with pre-packed meals. So things that would make complete meals for a certain amount of time, and I have 3 of those. Additional things that I would grab and go if I were to leave, I would certainly be grabbing propane, gasoline, any other butane, or anything I need, extra water, extra food. Then I'd also be pulling in things like blankets, maybe sheets. I'd also be pulling in any warm clothing that I don't already have pre-packed into something. And then I myself, I'm a good sewer, so I have a treadle machine that's all boxed up, and I have scissors, thread, etc. that I would bring with it. Now for you, you might have a musical instrument that you want to put in there, or you might have tools of your trade or whatever your talent is that you want to make sure you spare. Now there's lots of different reasons why we would need to move or leave our homes. Some can be that our home is devastated and we can't stay there and have to leave. It could be from wildfires, which would be what I may encounter. It could be from who knows what. But the bottom line is, if we have to evacuate our homes, we will want to pre-plan what it is we want to take with us. Maybe it's ammunition that you want to take with you, and guns. So you have to determine what your family would need and what space you have to take it, and then pre-plan and pre-pack those. One other idea I found that I've incorporated that I love, I would also want to take any of my additional medicines, essential oils, etc. Well, those are actually pre-packed in these tubs in my shelves in my home. So it's something that I can use while I'm in my home, but it's also something that if I needed to grab and go, I grab it off, I put the lid on, and it can be hauled out here quite fast. We've also done a timing, my boys and I, how fast can we push this trailer out of the garage? How fast can we hook it up? And we're a little over 6 or 7 minutes. We know we can get that down. But bottom line is, if you have only 15 minutes to evacuate your home and you have the luxury of a level 3, what are you going to take? And what do you want to have pre-packed in bins? You know, now is the time to get it done. Don't wait. The time to prepare is not when the police are knocking on your door or when you see the fire racing down the hill. The time to prepare is now, and there's such a peace now knowing that if I pull out with my trailer, I have a lot of the comforts that I didn't have that first time when I pulled out with a little convertible Volkswagen. Level 3, print out the little document down below. This week's Kid Factor. Sit down with each one of your kids and find out what it is that they would want in their own personal bin, whether it be one of this size or a small one, but find out what they would want with them if you had to leave. What a sense of security to know that I get to have these things with me if I don't get to be in the security of my home. Make it really fun and upbeat. And what would we want to take? And what shirt would you want to take? What pants, etc. Just make it fun and interactive. Have them be a part of it. Remember, kids can help us achieve our goals when they know what our goal is. Have fun with your level 3.